4 powers you don't expect from your unconscious mind. What if you knew who to trust? What if you could access your hidden capabilities? And what if you could even access your true feelings while at the same time rewiring your patterns? Well, you can, because your unconscious mind, it gives you access to all the information that I just mentioned. So by the end of this audio, you're going to know 4 things that you can do that the unconscious mind does, and maybe you don't expect it. So let's go ahead and look at these right now. So the first one is your unconscious mind. It allows you to trust instincts. So if you use your unconscious mind and you build rapport and you build a connection with your unconscious mind, you'll know who you can trust and you'll know who you cannot trust. So you can actually access the unconscious mind very easily. And this is where your intuition is. So before your logical mind catches up, your unconscious mind picks up so many subtle cues when you meet someone. So have you ever met someone and you all of a sudden got a feeling about those people? That was your unconscious mind telling you what to do. You notice body language, you notice expressions that they're using, you even notice their tone of voice, the words that they're using, how they're sitting, how they're breathing, how they look, do they seem interested or not? So that gut feeling that you get about someone, it's your unconscious mind detecting signals. And it's telling you, hey, I'm working a lot faster than your conscious mind, and I'm noticing a lot more. So your conscious mind, which is in the here and now, it's overlooking all of this. So your unconscious mind, it reads people faster than logic ever could. And maybe you've sat with someone and you talked to them for a few minutes and you said, wow, feels like I've known you forever. Have we met before? So your unconscious mind there is telling you this is probably a good connection. However, you still want to follow up and see how you feel afterwards as well. So your unconscious mind, it's where your intuition is, and it tells you who you can trust and who you can't. Now, the second thing that your unconscious mind does, and probably something you don't expect, your unconscious mind, it allows you to know what you're capable of, even if you doubt it. So your unconscious mind, it stores every behavior, every experience, every emotion, every habit, every skill, every pattern that you've ever learned, because your unconscious mind is where all behavior and learning and change takes place. So it's why you can do things like catching something. It's why you can improvise under pressure, or you can find words in the moment even without thinking. So you've actually trained the power in your mind a lot more than you think, and a lot more than you probably give yourself credit for. Because have you ever been in a stressful situation and then all of a sudden you knew exactly what to do without even thinking? Or maybe you've been in a stressful situation and you had no idea what to do and it felt like you were on overload. This is because you were stressed and you were giving so much access to your unconscious mind. Because when you're stressed, you don't get full access to it. So if you can train your unconscious mind to be really calm or resourceful, whatever resourceful emotion you want in any situation, you're going to be capable of much more because you've trained your unconscious mind to do all these things. Think about all the things when you wake up. What do? Brush your teeth, have some coffee, take a shower, use the bathroom. You do all this without even thinking about it. Unconsciously, it all happens. So you're capable of much more. Your unconscious mind is way smarter than you think, and it does things so easily and so effortlessly. You don't even have to think about them. Your mind is trained for you to have success. So the more you realize that, you'll realize that you're more than capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. That's right. The third one, what you're actually feeling, not just what you say. Now, have you ever come across someone and they're telling you something? They're saying, I feel this way, and you're thinking, no, I don't know. Doesn't seem like that makes any sense. So someone will say, no, I'm fine, or I'm not mad. However, your unconscious mind, it holds the emotional truth. And this might leak through to your tone of voice, your posture, your energy, maybe that internal tension. It's the emotion trying to surface. So if someone says, oh yeah, I'm fine, are they really fine? You need to find out. And what if you actually knew? That's your unconscious mind doing that. Your unconscious mind is going to pick up on how you feel, and it can pick up on how others feel if you know how to calibrate them based off of how they look, how they sound, and what they're doing. So you can't really hide your emotions. You can't really hide from yourself. You can. However, your unconscious mind, because it's the domain of your emotion, it knows what you're feeling. And that's why, after a while, people who are trying to fake it till they make it, or hide certain things, eventually it's going to come to the surface pretty easily. So keep an eye out for that. Trust your intuition. See how these things integrate, how they go together. And the fourth one, your unconscious mind. Even though you don't expect it, the unconscious mind, it has the patterns that keep repeating in your reality. So your unconscious mind notices recurring themes long before your conscious mind does. In your relationships, choices, fears, failures, it often recreates familiar dynamics, even if they're painful, because they feel safe. So a lot of the things that I even teach in my trainings of hypnosis and NLP, a lot of them are concepts that people do naturally. The unconscious mind is already doing them. However, they kind of have an unconscious incompetence about it because they don't have a process around it. When they come to the training, though, we bring it into their conscious awareness, the process. Then at first they consciously practice it. And then after that, they have an unconscious competence about them. And that habit repeats. That pattern repeats. So think about all the things that you can get really, really good at, or things that you do automatically. The patterns that you have are getting the results that you want. You want to keep repeating those, don't you? Now think about all the patterns that you're doing that aren't getting you the results that you want. You probably want to change those, don't you? So until you bring awareness to the pattern, it's going to keep running in the background. So you might as well notice what's going on in your mind. And what do you expect from your mind now? If you think about it, you can easily reprogram your mind using any of these things. Because when you're accessing your intuition, you're in a really nice state of flow. That's a good time to get a lot of things done. You could reprogram with your self-talk, with your emotions, and your beliefs. So notice these things over the next few days, weeks, months, and think about what you want to reprogram now that you know what to expect from your unconscious mind. And it's a lot easier than you think because your unconscious mind is way smarter than you think. Definitely share this with someone who will benefit, someone that needs to know more about the unconscious mind, because I think when you know more about the unconscious mind, it's easier to create the reality you want, and that means it's easier to create predictable results. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the audio and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next video or the next audio.